Manchester. Ladies, welcome along.
Hi there.
Great to have your company today. So what is this all about?
Well, it started off as a project to brighten up the streets of Winchester, and we initially did 5 back in 2005 to gauge the response from the public, and it was overwhelming. So we've carried on producing more and more, and they do just put a smile on everyone's faces, which is what it's all about.
Am I right in thinking that the first 5 that you did were on the entrance to that park, just as you come round the corner from the colour factory on the one-way system?
Those are a new addition, actually.
Oh, okay.
We've done those for the Waterville Trail, which is created by Hampshire and Isle of Wight Wildlife Trust, which runs along the river there. And because they are next to the river, we are asked to produce 7, I think there are in total, with water-based patterns on them. So yeah, they're new ones.
So this is really catching on and spreading across the city then?
It is an epidemic, hopefully.
Wonderful. Do you know what? The street furniture can always look a bit dull, can't it? And then sometimes somebody spray paints on it and you think, oh, it's a shame somebody's tagged, a bollard or a street sign or something. But this is, because each bollard is covered in a different masterpiece, it's really interesting, isn't it? It's a really eye-catching way to brighten up the streets.
I think it's absolutely fantastic, and people can really relate to the artworks. A lot of them are based on, famous paintings and paintings that we're sort of familiar with from school, or golly, on calendars and all sorts of things like that. I mean, the Mona Lisa, for instance. And then we've sort of thrown in a few more obscure artists as well. It's a bit of almost like a little Bollard trail, like a quiz, to see if you can spot the artist that we've used as inspiration.
How long are the Bollards going to stay that way?
Oh, golly, I hope they'll stay forever.
So you think it's going to be a permanent thing?
I think people have really taken them to their hearts. They absolutely love them. When Rachel and I have been out painting them actually on the street, we're kind of like the magic bollard fairies, I think, because a lot of people sort of see them and don't realise that we've come out and hand painted them on, in situ on the street, sitting on the pavement. And so when we've sort of added a new one and been out there painting it, or we've often touched up where they've sort of been knocked slightly. The feedback we get from locals and visitors is unbelievable. It's so lovely to hear their response. It's always very, very positive.
What kind of things do they say?
Oh, golly. Well, they always want to know which is going to be the next bollard to be painted and which artist is going to be on there. Most people have a favourite painting or a favourite artist, and they're sort of desperate to have their favourite included in the collection. So, but we do sort of try and choose images that are quite recognisable. So it creates an outside gallery, as Jenny said, that everybody can relate to.
I can't believe people have a favourite, because when I walk along that road, and this, if you're not familiar with exactly where we're talking about, it's on the edge of the Cathedral Green, isn't it? And then just going around that corner.
Yeah,
so
it's in the square where all
past the vine and the little cafes and whatnot are there. Yeah, and you can, as you say, you can walk along that road and I think this one's my favourite, and then I get to the next one and I think, no, this one is my favourite, and then I get to the end of the road and think, no, it's definitely this one, it's definitely my favourite. Have you picked a favourite?
Oh gosh, I think I have to say I just love the Mona Lisa. I think Rachael painted that one, and she's so clever, and to recreate that famous painting so immaculately, so beautifully. And I don't know if you've noticed, but it's even got a crackle glaze, a crackle effect on the bollard, like it's an old oil painting that's slightly sort of distressed, but it's just amazing. I think that's my favourite.
How do you paint on a column? Is that more challenging than painting on a flat canvas?
Definitely. Yes, and you also have to, the image that you choose to put on the bollard, you have to make sure that you can somehow meet it at the back, because paintings have sides, and obviously we have to wrap them round, so to speak, so it has to be able to join up somehow.
So do you practice on bollards at the studio, and then, or do you just go for it?
We just go for it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're so talented.
Some of them, you say that. Some of them, the really tricky ones, we kind of sketch out on a template, just to kind of see where the main body of the artwork's going to sit, But most of the time, we're just there. Doing it. Yeah, it's like doing any other painting, just a bit more challenging because it is on a round surface.
They are very, very good replicas. I mean, really unmistakable from the original. If you don't look too closely, and you're not terribly well attuned to exactly how those originals would have looked. Never tempted to do some kind of sideline of copies, ladies, and a few extra quid?
Oh, it's been discussed.
a Mona Lisa at a car boot sale in Winchester, I'll know where it's come from.
We're very good at that kind of thing.
And you say that the hope is that this will spread out and continue to spread across the city. Are there more bollards to paint? Where are you going next?
Well, I think in the square, I think there's 2 or 3 left for that collection. So we have a couple more sponsors who are interested, and we quite like it to sort of reach out further. I think behind, is it Minster? Just trying to think where the street bends around. Behind the Great Minster Street. We'd like to sort of carry on there, and yeah, anywhere else in Winchester would be brilliant.
And moving on to any other kind of street furniture, perhaps?
Oh, well, why stop at Bollards?
Yeah. Parking meters?
Why not?
Do you know what? I think they're all absolutely wonderful, and I'm not surprised to hear that you've actually painted them all from scratch, sat there in the street. But I'm just amazed at how much talent you must both have, because they are so good, and I mean especially the kiss as well. I love the kiss.
It's very decorative. Well, I mean the whole idea is that we absolutely, if we were going to do this project, and the idea was to transform the bollards, and you think, well, what sort of artwork would you put on them? And I think the idea of replicating or taking inspiration from these famous paintings, but we're artists, and that's our career, and we're passionate about it, and they're going to be on show to the public, to visitors overseas who come to Winchester, and for us to showcase our work, they had to be absolutely spot on. So we're very proud of them, and they've been blogged and tweeted and Wikipedia, and we've had many sort of comments and emails about them. So yeah, we love them. We love the bollards.
Yeah. Well, and some of them, well, especially the kiss, very romantic indeed. And am I right in thinking that there is a romantic story, not necessarily a proposal story, but a romantic story linked to one of these bollards?
Oh, there is. It's a lovely story, actually. We had a private commission, personal commission, from a really nice gentleman who had spent a holiday with his partner in Ravenna in Italy, and they'd had the most gorgeous time going around all these beautiful churches that are very famous for their mosaics, and he wanted to commission a bollard as a Christmas present for her, completely unknown to her, and it was all based on the mosaics of Ravenna, and she absolutely loved it. He took her out walking, and just presented it to her.
I think it was on Christmas Day, wasn't it? I think he took us a walk on Christmas Day, and I think he even tied a ribbon around it, I believe.
Oh. Yeah. And she was thrilled as well.
Say it with a bollard.
Exactly. Well, I think it for the lady has everything. Yeah. Where do you go from there?
Oh, it's been such a pleasure to chat to you. Stay in touch and let us know what you're up to over the summer, and then where the next ones are going to pop up. I can't wait to see what you've got in store.
Keep your eyes peeled.
We will. Great to see you there. Thanks for starring in Secret Sights of the South. Jenny Muncaster and Rachael Alexander joining you on BBC Radio Solent, artists from the Colour Factory in Winchester. You can take a look at those photos on the BBC Radio Solent Facebook page, and if you've spotted something quirky, poignant, or maybe just a bit silly, sticking out like a sore thumb somewhere in the south, take a photo and email it to katie.martin@bbc.co.uk.